Hello, and welcome to Movies We Dig, a podcast about film, antiquity, and everything in between. I'm Colin McCormick.
And I'm Elijah Fleming.
And we're back, not to discuss a movie, but to discuss the promise of future movies. This is, yes, a sort of promo, what's the other word? A prologue, preamble, a proem to the second season. Yeah.
Season 2!
Season 2. We're back for more. I'm trying to think of an ancient comparison, but nothing's coming to mind.
A proem sounds good. I feel like that. Yeah.
Well, like season 2 is to season 1 what like Octavian is to Julius Caesar, or
does that work?
No, it doesn't. Like, I don't think the metaphor totally. The analogy kind of fell apart on me. Or like the Byzantines were to Rome, but even that's like.
So it's going to be better, but everyone's going to hate it?
Yeah. It's also going to be like Orthodox Christian. That's another new direction we're going in.
Oh, okay. Yeah. If you are just joining us for this season of Movies We Dig, we are two academics who like to make very unprofessional hot takes on our favorite and least favorite movies about classical antiquity. Yeah.
Eli and I are both working academics, professionals. I'm teaching right now at the University of Alabama. You're finishing up at University of Texas.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, on the PhD.
So close.
Our initial kind of the germ of the idea for this podcast was one as sort of a film discussion, because there's just a lot of movies that I feel like I need to get my thoughts out on, but also to try to balance sort of film criticism and also our sort of scholarly expertise and sort of knowledge that we bring to this field. Because there's a lot of podcasts and YouTube channels and things like that I think fall like heavily on the like historical nitpicking side of just being like what is or is not accurate about a movie or something like that. And that is really not what we're interested in.
We do some of that.
Inevitably. But what I think is really more interesting to us is the way that the past, and particularly sort of ancient Greece and Rome, get reimagined, and why, and the particular ways they get reimagined, and really what that says about the sort of media or the setting in which those films were produced, the reception of the audience, and then how our understanding of the past is informed by contemporary media. That's, I think, really where the kind of heart of this podcast lies.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then some unprofessional hot takes in there.
And then, yeah, sometimes it's just us, talking about like why there's a llama in Troy.
Because they could.
Or, the career arc of Channing Tatum and my thoughts about Waluigi, which I can go on the record and say again, I think he's terrible. He's doubly derivative and I don't like him. But yeah, we are in the stages. We're in the early stages, but we're prepping and we're getting ready to come out with our first episodes. We're actually in the process of lining up a very, I think, exciting cadre of guests. I don't want to say any of their names out loud because I don't want to jinx anything. Because once you put it out loud, then it becomes real.
Yeah, no. But yeah, no, we're super excited. We get to talk to some old friends and some new friends. Yeah, and some big names coming through.
Again, don't want to spoil anything, but we've been rubbing shoulders in the halls of power. and we're going to come back with more films. We're also looking this season to expand our roster. We're going to still be doing classical and ancient themed movies, but also branching out, which we did a little bit last season, into television and also into video games. There's a couple of things on our sort of hit list that we want to talk about. I think some of the first movies we are going to talk about this season are kind of similar to last season, a continuation of the early aughts action and adventures. There's a couple that slipped through our radar. We're going to come back and clean those up. Things like The Last Legion with Colin Firth or Gladiator. That's the big one.
I know. We were saving Gladiator. We're saving it.
Yeah.
We could be actual better podcasters when we talk about Gladiator.
Yeah, that's really...
Are we better podcasters now, Colin?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll look at our reach and we'll see if we're actually any better. Also, on my watch list, we might be doing a few of the sort of classic mythological movies like the Ray Harryhausen, like Jason and the Argonauts and Clash of the Titans in 1984, some more reception movies, and branching out also into movies having to do with Egypt and the Near East, and branching out a little bit into the Middle Ages as well. And also we plan on, or our plan is to actually get into some video games, because in this past year, I've actually played some video games that are very thematically appropriate, particularly Hades, which some of our old guests will return to discuss. Also the Assassin's Creed, also a game I played called Phoenix Rising. And also this is part of a sort of stealth campaign to try to get Eli to start playing video games.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was like, I have played none of these video games. And I remember legitimately asking the question, how do I play Hades? And Colin had to walk me through.
Yeah, that one I can help. Or we could set up we should set up like a watch party where like you just Discord in or something, and then you can or like watch a Twitch streamer.
Oh man, do I have to?
No, you don't have to watch Twitch streaming.
Good.
I don't know what else has been. Is there any like other updates we should?
I think there's so much material that we haven't gotten to talk about in TV. And I'm really excited to jump more into the TV shows this season. Just because we say all the time, like, I wish that we could make this movie into a miniseries. And sometimes when that happens, it doesn't really work out. And so there's so much material I think that we could talk about. And I'm really looking forward to that, especially Claudius.
Yeah, TV is, I think, the next big. In addition to video games, TV is the big media that even though I know the title of the podcast is Movies We Dig, but that movies, we're taking it to extend to kind of all audiovisual media. And yeah. There's some shows, because there's also some shows, there's some big movies that we've sort of left off on the back burner because, to sort of, we had to be we had to be ready to cover those movies. Like Gladiator, which I think we're coming around to. Yes. But then there's also similarly some big TV shows that were very sort of era defining. Claudius being one of them. I love Claudius. I really want to talk about Claudius. Mm-hmm. HBO's Rome being another one.
Yep. Well, I think also like these big sort of heavy hitters that we've had on the back burner are also ones that people both in and outside of our field feel very strongly about. Like people really like Gladiator as a movie. People really liked Claudius before, we had our big sword and sandal aughts explosion. So I think, there are a lot of opinions out there. And
for
that's
us to
be really
upset.
Fun. Oh, yeah, naturally. If you're excited to see Movies We Dig come back, follow us on Twitter at Dig Movies. Leave us a review, rate us. Always helps.
Yeah, rate us, particularly on Apple Podcasts, but on other platforms. You can find us on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, Google, Amazon, pretty much anywhere you want to get podcasts, you can find us there. And yeah, I think that's just a stinger, a little tease, and then you can expect more from us in the coming days. So hope you're listening in.
Woo!
Bye.
Bye.